I am now at the Bozeman Pass. The Bozeman Pass is on I-90, Interstate I-90, and I-90 will run all the way from the east of the United States all the way across to the west of the United States. In this specific pass, has many historic and advanced technologies used to construct the pass. So basically, it is a pass not only historic in the way of who utilize it, but how they construct it. For example, the first people who utilized the pass were the native, the Shoshone, the Sakawea, and the expedition of Lewis and Clark. There was an expedition made by the United States Army, utilized it. Also, during the 1860s and later, was so-called immigrants came through here, so they used this pass. And let me read this, what it say. They say the Sacagawea and the Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition led Captain William Clark and his party of 10 men over an old buffalo road through this pass on July 15, 1806. They were eastward bound and planned to explore the Yellowstone River to his mouth, where they were rejoined by Captain Lewis and a party who will return in via the Missouri River. In the 1860s, John M. Bozeman and adventurous John Georgians opened a trail from Fort Laramie, Wyoming, to Virginia City, Montana, across the hostile Indian country, east of here. He brought his first party through in 1863, and the next year guided a large wagon train of immigrants and gold seekers over the pass. Racing with an outfit in the charge of Jim Bridger used a pass north of here. These pioneer speed demons made as much as 15 to 20 miles a day, some days. The outfit reached Virginia City within a few hours of each other. In December 1883, the Northern Pacific Railway completed a 3,610-foot tunnel under the pass. By World War II, the old tunnel was barely deteriorated and could not handle the bridge or the bigger railroad cars of the time. The railroad began boring a new wide tunnel under the pass in February 1944. Completing it during the summer of 1945, the new tunnel, which is still in use, is 3,015 feet in length. Okay, if you notice the wires, the electric wiring is right beside the rail tracks. So if you notice, the road was cut right parallel to it. So as you follow the tracks that you cannot see from here, and a little ways it goes into the ground on those hills that you are looking at, and it comes out 3,015 feet on the other side of the mountain. Now look at the words they utilize on this sign. Is actually amazing. They still have this over here, and nobody ever complains about. They calling the native hostile Indians. Hostile Indians. They call the people coming into these lands immigrants and gold seekers. Immigrants and gold seekers. So let's analyze the data. Those immigrants and gold seekers, for the native, the so-called Indians, that they are not Indians, because Columbus called them Indians in a confusion, thinking that he was in the Hindu Kush. So now the hostile Indians are actually the native to this land, and the immigrants for the so-called Indians are the invaders or the hostiles. So it's completely the opposite. The hostiles were the immigrants coming into this guy's lands. So basically, all this land belonged to the native, to the Mexicales, the Azteca, the Mayas. All these people are bands of humans, and they have different languages, like 600 something language. So when we come here to this pass and we read the sign, it appears like the bad guys, the hostiles, were the indigenous people, the people who live here all since God created the earth. So it's kind of odd that no one ever stop and think about that. So I can say that Mr. John M. Bozeman and adventurous John Georgian was actually an invader. That is what I say. Now, Mr. Williams and Clark, of course, they were scientists, so I look at them differently because they were scientists. You know, these people came here to see what this land was about. Remember, it was not the United States at the time. So it is a difference in between Lewis and Clark and the immigrants and the gold seekers. Think about that. Anyway, look at the data and come here. This is a beautiful country, and it's a marvel of engineering. All these roads and rails that show the advancement in technology of humanity. Actually, the sad part is they basically exterminated the native people to do it. Well, I hope you enjoy it. From Bozeman Pass. The United States of America.